how Vinny Jones is portrayed as a masculine character in the film Locked in Two Smoking Barrels. I'm going to be looking at his public persona versus his private persona. And our aim is to explore how Vinny Jones' masculine persona is constructed through language, image, and moving image.
Okay, so we're going to show you a
Video from the film.
Yes, the actual
Give you an idea of him. No, wait.
Okay. That's right, go back to the beginning.
Okay.
What is going on? I don't know. But what I do know is there's no more Harry. Which means there's no more debt. And if there's no more debt, there's no more problem. And there's no problem with the neighbours because they're all dead. And I think, if I get this right, we haven't done anything wrong and we're in the clear. You all right, mate? Cheeky bastard.
Right, okay, so that was Vinny Jones playing Big Chris right there. So firstly, he comes in the scene with diegetic music, so a diegetic sound, sorry. So that's the actual sound of the car. It's all very calm, and then he sort of crashes into that car and brings the guy out, and well, you saw what you did there. So this directly proves the point that he's a hooligan, a gangster, and that he's prepared to do anything to just get the job done, and everybody would conform to him basically, and he recovers very, very quickly. If we were in a car, it would take a few minutes. He just does his job and goes away. It's completely normal. All the actual mise-en-scène behind him, so that's the scenery, is untouched. No one moves. And this gives lots of tension to the actual audience and emotion, and he has no emotion at all. It's, apart from his anger banging this guy's head, it's a complete outburst.
So the scenery around him at the beginning is like really tranquil and sort of ordinary and quiet, and then it sort of like seems like normal. And even after he crashes into the car, nothing seems to have changed really in the atmosphere around them. And it sort of shows the area that they're in, which is the East End of London, which is kind of known for and still is of crime and like backhanded and drugs and murder. So it's kind of not out of the norm and ordinary for this area. His presence is quite obvious. So the way he comes into the scene is really dramatic, and it shows his masculinity because it shows how he takes over the situation completely. You're very aware of his presence.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, just go forward.
Forward?
Forward.
Okay. Okay, right. So we'll explain this.
Hooliganism.
Yeah. Afterwards. But
I'll explain hooliganism. Hooliganism is basically like when you go to football matches and the people in the crowd get very angry and out of control, and that's what we call hooliganism. And Vinny is a very good example of this. and he uses his anger in sport also.
Exactly.
I'll show a quick video.
Right.
In the late 80s and early 90s, as the emphasis switches firmly towards strong, athletic and above all physical players. Photographs of Jones and Newcastle United's emerging superstar Paul Gascoigne provided graphic evidence of Vinny's intimidating style, illustrating that there are more ways than one of coming to grips.
I think seeing when at non-league and that you could definitely get away with it, but now you know all of a sudden you're in the limelight. That instant was where we had a free kick on our halfway line and he was just marking the time. There was just a little bit of bantering going on between us. I mean, if the truth's known, he was giggling until I went to stand back, and then I took him his tone. It shows up in one of the pictures, and I mean that's the only bit of pain he got from that.
But Vinnie Jones's career has been littered with moments of madness that have launched his name into the newspaper headlines with great regularity. This incident, a late challenge on Everton's Graham Sharp at Goodison Park, followed by an unnecessary clash with Kevin Ratcliffe, led to one of a series of dismissals. Ratcliffe's reaction to a slight brush of foreheads may be equally reprehensible, but this kind of unsavoury incident, particularly during his early league career, led to Jones becoming an anti-hero on the field, the undisputed leader of Wimbledon's crazy gang.
Spectators don't see, and the referee doesn't see. One of the oldest ones in the book is going up for the header with the elbow out, giving the opponent a nice lump behind the ear. There's always the poke in the eye when you're not looking, or when the ball's up the other end of the field, the centre half lays out the centre forward with a right-hander. The one where you're following the play and he passes the ball off, everybody follows the ball and then you just come in and follow down your studs on the back of his Achilles down the calf. It's always a nice one. And you know, these sort of things do happen.
Okay, so in this video he's describing some of the tactics that the media don't see, and the sort of backhanded hooliganism, the little bits that you don't really see in the crowd, of masculinity and aggression, and ways to be competitive and win the game.
Yeah. He actually did write his biography, and from the scene when he was playing, he actually, before that, he was in 3 seconds on the actual pitch and he got sent off. And he actually wrote his biography. I must have been too high, too wild, too strong, or too early, because after 3 seconds I could hardly have been too bloody late. So again, I think the whole of his actual statement and his video, he's very extremely upfront about how he thinks. He's determined, and this shows again his sort of this very extreme masculine person.
He's actually sent off 12 times throughout his whole career, which is quite a lot for a football player. And some of these pictures. There's a picture portrayed by the media of the sort of person he is, and so this is his public persona and what the public see, and it's very masculine, aggressive side to him. He always seems to be very intimidating.
Yes, and this is always what the public actually sees, that the media really enjoys this persona because it's one of a kind. I have never found or seen somebody else that acts like that.
The video was actually taken from he became the host of Soccer's Heartland in 1992, and it basically showed, as you can see, all the little tactics that footballers have been using. They basically exploited those, and it showed upcoming footballers how they could use these tactics. And he actually got fined £20,000, banned for 6 months, and suspended for 3 years by the FA, because obviously the FA had come up with these rules for a reason. He was showing people how you get past them. So.
Exactly.
go on to a script from the
Lots of the two smoking barrels.
I don't know if everyone's seen that film. Do you want to just briefly say a little bit
Okay,
about the film in general?
basically, the film's all about this gang of gangsters in East London, and the whole actual plot is one person from another gang in London has these they're enormous sort of guns, pistols that high about, and they're very, very old, so they're worth a lot of money. And there's everything seems to like turn around it. You see these guys that cultivate cannabis, and they run after them because they think they might have it, and they run back somewhere else, and it's a lot. It's quite comical actually. And
Ultra violent.
yeah, ultra violent, but again, it's sort of a British comedy that not everybody can understand, but there's a big underlining of, you know, this may happen. It's just fun to watch. Anyway, from the first video, when he crashed into the car, he goes into the building, and there's this guy called, what's his name, John O'Driscoll. He's sunbathing in one of these sunbeds, and Vinny wants to find out where these guns are. So he starts with very, very forceful language. Yeah. Okay, so tell me, John. I can't actually sing.
Tell me, John, how can you concentrate on improving a lovely tan? It is lovely tan, by the way, when you have more pressing priorities at hand.
Tell Harry. Bang, his sunbed comes down again.
Did I say speak? And it's Mr. Harry to you. Now, don't disappoint me and choose your words carefully. You may speak.
I'll have it for Mr. Harry in a few days. I have been busy, and I'm nearly there.
Son, have a look in his locker.
No chance of you lifting this sunbed up, is there? Cut from the complete scene. Yeah, alright. So, well, Big Chris, so Vinny, he bangs the sunbed down every time as he doesn't get the right answer. And he uses lots and lots of forceful language. So, as a and actually comical language, so concentrate on your lovely tan. So there's sarcasm again, but there's always this underlining of, being, forceful language. And yeah, by saying you have pressing priorities at hand. So he's pushing out this element of fear in John. And again, John, he's in the sunbed, so he can't do anything at all. And he always has lots of outbursts. Then he sort of calms down, and he's getting sort of joyous again, and he tries and gets the guy on his side. And there's always actually his son on his side, so he's showing his son how to act and to the language, the tone that you should use. Yes, you may speak, he says at one point, for John to finally speak. Yeah, so from that scene, it's...
He actually conforms to it. He conforms to his authority, as he even calls him Mr. Harry after he said, and it's Mr. Harry to you. So he obeys this big authority that Big Chris, Vinny, has over him.
Exactly. So, I'm going to show a bit of his personal...
The other side to Vinny Jones.
Okay, so Vinny actually dated this woman called Tanya when we were about 16 in London for a little while, and then they went their separate ways. So Vinny, with his many football careers and being an actor, and she actually went off and married this other guy. But when they're late 20s, 30s, they actually met up again and got married. And as you can see, she's actually quite beautiful, and I wouldn't expect most women to fall in love with him because he's quite a hard man. Well, that's what the media wants to show off.
was obviously meant to side to him.
And that's it. And they've actually had a boy called